welcome to the spare room. This week we're going to be doing a bit of everything. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this week that I just asked you to send in some questions that you might have about the hobby or about me. You can find me at the_spare_room_ on Instagram. I have selected 10 questions at random. Well, not so random. Some of them I couldn't answer on YouTube, so, you know, I don't know what to say to that. So I'm going to answer these questions, then I'm going to show you a few new additions we've had to the spare room, and then I will unbox the mystery rare that I have been waiting for about a month. Question one was, what inspired you to join the hobby? Weirdly, one day I was really unwell and I was in bed and I got into a YouTube hole, and the first one I saw was Tarantula Cat, and I just binge watched her videos through the night. She was showing that she was having fun with her tarantulas whilst it was being educational. So from Tarantula Cat I got onto the Dark Den, and from the Dark Den I got into Tarantula Dan, and of course the Tarantula Collective as well, and just this massive array of really interesting YouTubers. And so then I began to learn more about tarantulas, how they move by hydraulics, how they have very poor eyesight but they are incredible hunters, all the different genuses, the colours, all of the different requirements that the species need, and how they live. It's just so different, it's amazing. If you could only keep one genus of tarantula, what would it be and why? It would be Summerpaeus. They are the most adorable tarantulas I've ever seen in my life. I love the shape of a Summerpaeus. I love that they are so fluffy. At the moment I've got two Summerpaeus pulcha. I've got a Summerpaeus Erminia, a Summerpaeus Cambridgei. I really want to get the Reduncus. I feel Summerpaeus have the potential to be quite, you know, spicy and exciting. Just so cute. Next question was from Greg. What is your most crazy spider? I don't have any true spiders, I only have tarantulas. I don't really have any crazy tarantulas. Probably my Summerpaeus pulcha, because it's just so skittish. Whenever you open the enclosure, it just runs around the place. In terms of things like OBTs, the baboons I've got, they're pretty what you'd expect for their species. Richard asks, what is your biggest tarantula and your smallest tarantula? My biggest is my adult female OBT, and she's currently here. You can see her vague orange outline. She is chilling in her little corner. She's pretty big. I'll put a picture up of her, but she's probably, oh, I haven't seen her in a while. What do we want to say, like, I don't know how big that is, but that's how big she is. My smallest is a Coquiana brunipes. It's probably about 1/10 of a centimetre big. I don't see it that often because I can't see it, but I did see her yesterday and she was scavenging, so she's doing well. Invisible tarantula. Oh, yay! I've been waiting for my Brachypelma albiceps to molt for some time, and she has. I'm so proud of you. A different Joe asks, where are you from? I am from Cardiff in Wales. James asks, what tea is hardest to rehouse? Hardest to rehouse would probably be something like a Pteronoculus murinus sling, just because they're so small and they're fast. I don't tend to mind when they're a bit bigger and also fast, because they're easier to spot when they're on the run. The ones that make me the most nervous though are the bigger pokies, the Heteroscodra maculata, probably my OBT juvie. The adult is pretty standard OBT. She threat poses, but she's good. Just because they just run and it's very stressful, but you know, it is what it is. What top 5 tarantulas are on your wish list? Well, one of them I will be rehousing today, so that is one off the wish list. The Syriopagopus species Valhalla, absolutely stunning tarantula. In fact, on Instagram at adsarachnids, he has just got a sling and it is the cutest little fluff ball I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot wait to see that mature. At the moment, I really want a Pteronoculus lugardi and a Pteronoculus caudatus. I really want a Psammopaeus reduncus. Anything from the Psammopaeus genus, really. Pteroposa apophysis, you know, like C. marshalli, I don't have that, or a Sanderi. What tea will you never keep and why? I don't have one, but I will tell you a funny story. I got a Heteroscoda maculata, tiny sling, as a freebie along with one of my first orders, which was pretty intense. I had it in one of these little vials. No way it could escape. A Heteroscoda maculata is not gonna, like tiny sling, is not gonna pop this off. I actually had it in its vial, inside a ventilated box, which I called Spider Jail, so that if it escaped, it would be contained. But I think it was all just down to lack of knowledge of the species, and it was an intense freebie to get with an order. Gemma has asked top 3 tips to get into the hobby. Number 1 is do your research. You cannot get into this hobby seriously or with enough care if you don't do your research. As long as you know enough to keep both you and the tarantula safe, that's what's important. So do research. Tip number 2, join some sort of community where you can ask questions. Head to somewhere like Arachne boards. There are some Facebook groups out there. Now, the problem with this is some Facebook groups can be very unhelpful sometimes. You might ask a really basic beginner question, and instead of being told a really straightforward, easy answer, you just get a barrage of people making you feel bad as if they weren't in your position once. My DMs are always open on Instagram, so you can always ask me questions if you'd like. Number 3, the biggest tip I can give you in this hobby is just to stay calm. You rehouse in a pokey, for example, and it runs out this enclosure and up the wall. Okay, stay calm. That is where the tarantula is. That is where you've got to get it down from. And you're actually able to evaluate the situation better then. Adnan, what is the worst thing about the hobby? How do I put this nicely? And there are a lot of Facebook groups, and there are a lot of trying to be nice, but I can't. The amount of times I see someone come in to a Facebook group and go, my curly hair hasn't eaten for 3 weeks, I'm really worried about it. Well, that's totally normal most of the time. I just reply to that person, I go, look, totally normal. I know it can be a bit boring when they don't eat. But then you'll have 20 other comments. Google is free. Why haven't you done your research? If you'd researched, you knew this was normal, blah, 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 blah. We in the hobby have to be people that encourage people into the hobby. So when you get asked 10 times a day, hey, I'm thinking of getting into the hobby, what's a great species for me to start with? Try to remember that you were once in that place. That is all the questions, I didn't realise. So I wanted to show you a couple of new additions to the spare room. In this pot, we have an S. calceatum, and it is the tiniest thing I've ever seen. And he's currently webbed up. He does have a stick in there, but he's chosen not to hide behind it. In fact, he's webbed up in front of it. And then this one, this is quite exciting. This is a Pseudoclomorus gigas, which is an orange tree spider. He's in there. He's great. He's only been in there a few days and he's made this great web tunnel system. Just so cool. Last of all, I am so excited about this one. This is a tarantula which, when I first got into the hobby, I absolutely fell in love with, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I saw Creatures from the North put up that they had a sack, and I immediately emailed saying, please, 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 can I pre-order one? It was about a month ago, and it has finally arrived today. This is the Samapeus Victory, or the Mexican half and half, or the Darth Maul tarantula, I've heard. We're gonna get it out, rehouse it, and then I'll probably just stare at it for a few hours. So we've got everything here to start off a little enclosure. This is an old Burrata enclosure. I'll have to relabel it, otherwise I will forget. This is an arboreal tarantula. I don't want to put too little in there because it is only a baby. I'm just going to find a twig to pop in. That's going to be way too big. Perfect. And I'll just put that one there as well. So all my Samapeus have made either a web curtain out of their moss or their substrate. So I'm going to put a little bit of moss in the bottom, just like the tiniest bit. So if it did want a web, the option is there. It might burrow because that's what they do when they're tiny. A couple of drops of water. Alright, we are ready to go. Because it looks like it might bolt, this might look like overkill, but this is the smallest box I currently have. So here is our Samapeus Victory. We're gonna get him in. Oh, here he is. The newest addition to the spare room. Good. Thank you for joining me and our new addition to the spare room today. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, share, come find me on Instagram, have some fun, see some pictures of some spiders, and I'll see you again soon.